Now, studies show 4 out of 5 people are unhappy in their current jobs, and probably everyone else is just lying. No, I'm kidding about that.
Well, today we're talking about how you can find a way to happiness at work and beyond with the author of The Bliss List, J.P. Hansen. Good to see you.
Living the dream. I'm glad to be here with you guys. I can think of nowhere I'd rather be than the morning blend.
Are you really this happy?
I am, and part of it's the coffee, I'll be honest with you, but yes, I am.
Good coffee, by the way. Did you try
It is
some of
great
that?
coffee, I did. And I'm not usually a coffee drinker. So.
Yeah, let's talk about this book. First of all, what is it about in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, it's really 2 books in one. So there's a Mark Twain quote that starts the book off. The secret of success is to make your vocation feel like a vacation. And there's 2 parts to the book. There's a mystical, and then there's a practical.
So mystical.
Mystical, as the name implies, has that ooh aura about it. But it's basically finding those points that I call bliss points in the book that make time stand still. And I know when you were 19 years old, you changed from being an engineer into the broadcast profession with your own show. And I know, Mike, when you were 12, you were starring in those videos you'd rather people not see.
That's right. You remember that?
YouTube
Where did
doesn't
you
have
get this information?
YouTube. We're passing them around outside. No, that's all just.
How did you know that? Honestly,
He's
I
good.
changed my major from
He's a
engineering to
writer.
broadcasting.
That's
I'm a
right.
writer. You know,
He's a writer. How did you come about writing this book, though? Life experiences?
Yeah, I've always had a book in me, and I've always wanted to write a book, and I don't have a good excuse why it took me so long, except that I needed to take some steps along the way. And some of those ladders I was climbing fell, some of those ladders built themselves up again, but eventually I came to a point where I felt there was something I had to say. And the actual writing of the book was quick. It only took about 3 months. So it was, I saw a chance for a book that would differentiate from what's available. And there's really nothing that ties the whole thing together. And I believe there's the mystical part of finding that point where time stands still for you, and then guiding the person towards finding it through practical advice.
Have you found that bliss that you're talking about?
I find the bliss there right now. I find that bliss every day.
How do other people go about doing that?
Well, bliss is, you know, I can wake up at 3 in the morning and be happy typing out a chapter. You guys would probably stick pins and needles in your eyes, then be happy doing that. But people have there's different things that make people happy. And what makes me happy is different from you and different from you, Mike. And the part of it is taking that camera and pointing it on yourself and saying, what makes time stand still for me, and how can I find it? And after you are able to find out what those points are, sometimes it's as simple as starting by writing it down and then going from there.
How did you get to that point, though?
Well, I've always wanted to write my own book. I've always wanted to own my own business. And I knew to get to that point I had to take some steps along the way. There were some menial jobs I did that helped me get to where I was going, but I think every step of the way you need to look at it with happiness. And I'll go back to one of our founding fathers, a best-selling nonfiction author, Thomas Jefferson, wrote in that well-documented little nonfiction work, The Declaration of Independence.
Heard of that.
We're looking for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I think the problem is we've been trying to pursue that happiness for so many years rather than just be happy. And I think that's what the essence of the book is about, is how do you find happiness, and it varies per person.
Right now, a lot of people are working the job that they have to work because they have mortgages or bills to pay. I mean, like happiness is pretty low on the list of priority. So how do you sort of encourage those people to find happiness when they're working a job because they just have to? Maybe they were let go recently.
Well, with 4 out of 5 people unhappy, I call that the wine flu, and I'm not talking about Napa. And to the people that have been unhappy in their jobs, now is such a great time to go look for other employment. There's a real uptick in the job market. The worst is over, contrary to what people may believe. So the time is now, if you are unhappy, go find what you want and take that to the next level. And it's not as hard as you think. I'll focus on 3 areas of the practical advice. First is develop a killer resume. Most people are not very good at describing on paper what they want to do and what they want.
Or who they are.
Or who they are. They can verbalize it, but they can't put it on paper. And it's your invisible first impression. Second, I think the person needs to go and really effectively network with a strategic focus. Don't sit back on a computer and hope your job will come to you. And third, really practice some difficult interview questions and recommended answers. In the Bliss List, I have actual interview questions that have been asked and then recommended answers that have landed job offers.
So do you just look in the mirror and practice those, or you just
Well,
sit
the
on
mirror,
your couch at home?
mirror
and figure it out?
sometimes is you know, your worst enemy and best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the more, it's like riding a bike. First time I rode a bike, I fell into the fire hydrant. Second time I hit the neighbor's car, and third time I hit the neighbor's car. Eventually I was able to ride that bike. It's the same is true with interviewing. People think they can just go in and wing it. Wrong.
Winging it's a bad idea.
One question might determine whether or not you get the job. And, you know, winging it's not a great idea when a lot of your career may hinge on that one interview question.
Yeah, some great
book,
advice.
Yeah, absolutely. The book is called The Bliss List, and you have the Bliss List journal as well. Go to yourBlissList.com for more information on this book. Also, www.career-bliss.blogspot.com for your daily blogs, I assume, on that.
Yes. Thank you.
Good to see you, JP.
Great
Thank
to see you. Thank you for
I'm
your
still
time.
intrigued about how he learned so much about us, Mike. I thought we were fairly
It's not that
secretive.
impressive.
It is on our website, by the way, Mary.
Oh,
Anyways.
sorry. Thank you.